We know a lot about Benjamin Netanyahu's political life, but his personal life? Now that's a saga of its own. Would you believe he's been married 3 times and caught up in several affairs? Yep, that's enough drama to rival a soap opera.
Let's take that apart, one by one.
Netanyahu's first wife was Miriam Weizmann, an Israeli woman he met during his military service. She lived near his brother Yonatan's apartment in Jerusalem. After serving in the army, Miriam earned a chemistry degree, and in 1972, the couple moved to the US. She enrolled at Brandeis, and Netanyahu went to MIT. Sounds like a power couple in the making, right? They even had a daughter, Noah, in 1978. But that same year, while Miriam was pregnant, Netanyahu began an affair with a British student named Fleur Cates.
I don't deny it.
The affair ended his first marriage. He later married Fleur, who converted to Judaism and moved with him to Israel, only for that marriage to end in divorce in 1988. Then came wife number 3, Sara Ben Artzi. Netanyahu met her on an El Al flight. She was a flight attendant and in the middle of earning her psychology degree. The two married in 1991 and have 2 sons, Yair, who's very vocal online and fiercely defends his parents, and Avner, who keeps a much lower profile and once won Israel's national Bible quiz. Definitely not your typical fun fact at a job interview.
It's not easy being the children of the prime minister in Israel, especially with the media, which is so vicious, attacking us again and again and again.
But the turbulence didn't stop there. In 1993, just as Netanyahu was rising in the Likud party, he appeared on live TV to confess to yet another affair, this time with his PR advisor, Ruth Barr.
I never imagined I'd say this.
According to Netanyahu, a rival planted a secret camera to blackmail him. He and Sara stuck together, and he went on to lead the party. Oh, and there were also rumors about a 20-year friendship with an Italian-American woman, Catherine Price Mondadori. Make of that what you will. Now, let's talk about Sara Netanyahu, because she's a headline maker in her own right. Born in northern Israel, she served in the military and later became a psychologist. Before meeting Netanyahu, she was married to a kibbutz member for several years. Today, alongside her public appearances with her husband, she works part-time as an educational psychologist for the Jerusalem municipality.
I see it as a mission, helping others. Balancing everything is not always easy, the role of the Prime Minister's wife, but I'm fortunate to have the Prime Minister's full support.
But she's also made waves for some less flattering reasons. Audio recordings of her shouting at staff in the official residence have surfaced more than once, sparking public concern about her behavior. One cleaner was suing her for mistreatment, and in 2016, another housekeeper was awarded damages for alleged abuse. In 2019, Sara reached a plea deal over misusing state funds. The more serious fraud charge was dropped, but she still had to pay a fine. And, as recently as December 2024, she faced accusations of harassing witnesses involved in her husband's corruption case.
Charges that were put before me were ridiculous.
And with all that personal drama unfolding alongside Netanyahu's political rise, it's hard not to think of another modern-day power player, Donald Trump. 3 marriages, headline-making affairs, courtroom battles, and here's a juicy bit. He actually cheated on his first wife with the woman who would later become his second wife. And guess what? The boomerang effect hit hard. She allegedly cheated on him right back. Now, let's take a closer look back at this scandalous chapter in Trump's life. Donald met Ivana, née Ivana Zelnichkova, in 1976.
Lady Trump, I was first wife. Excuse me. Okay. I don't know what is Melania problem. She just has to get over it.
She ended up in New York City for a modeling gig, and during a dinner with other models, Donald swooped in. He secured the group the best table in the place and joined them. Smooth move, right?
And I turned to my girlfriend and said, I have a good news and bad news. What is the good news? We're going to get a table real fast. What is the bad news? This fellow behind me is going to go and sit with us.
By Christmas, Donald asked her to go on vacation. They went to Aspen and had the most romantic time together. On New Year's Eve, Donald told her if you don't marry me, you'll ruin your life. Now that's the Trump we know. And despite having known each other for only a few months, Ivana agreed to marry him.
Donald always had a great head on his shoulder, and I saw the potential.
They tied the knot on April 9th, 1977 in New York City. And during their honeymoon in Mexico, Ivana became pregnant with their first child. On December 31, 1977, their son Donald Jr. was born. The couple went on to welcome 2 more children, Ivanka in 1981 and Eric in 1984. A picture-perfect marriage, right? But wait.
He did not know how to speak to them in the children way of thinking. So he was able to speak to them only when they came from university, when eventually he was able to speak business with them.
Yeah.
You know, but otherwise he really did not know how to handle the kids.
Donald and Ivana weren't just partners in marriage, but also in business.
And I was chief executive officer, and casino really did very well. It was the most profitable hotel casino in the United States.
However, their seemingly perfect marriage hit the rocks in 1989 when Ivana discovered Donald's affair with model Marla Maples.
Did you see warning signs?
I really didn't.
It all happened during the family's annual holiday trip to Aspen. Ivana ran into Maples outside a restaurant, with patrons and the rest of the family watching. Ivana wrote, "This young blonde woman approached me out of the blue and said, 'I'm Marla, and I love your husband. Do you?' I said, 'Get lost. I love my husband.' It was unladylike, but I was in shock."
We were actually standing near the restaurant, getting ready to put skis on. And I was standing there like an idiot. And Marla and Ivana were here. And there wasn't shouting, but you could obviously see there was some friction.
Turns out this affair had been going on for years.
Do you think unless the two had actually come face to face, you would have confronted that situation?
Well, it's interesting because it's possible that, maybe it would still be going on. I'm not sure.
The affair made headlines, and in March 1990, Ivana officially filed for divorce, resigning from the Trump Organization a few months later.
In my case, it was just so clear, and the trust was broken so badly that I knew that it was just no way it could be patched.
Maples and Donald continued to date on and off, and in 1993, she became pregnant with their first child. Their daughter Tiffany was born on October 13, which Maples later called the greatest unplanned surprise of all. Despite Donald previously saying he had no plans to get married again, the couple decided to tie the knot shortly after Tiffany's birth, on December 20th, 1993.
We really anticipated getting married and having a baby, not having a baby and getting married.
So why didn't you marry her right away when you found out she was pregnant? Why did you wait?
Indecision.
The pair remained married for 3 years before separating in May 1997. Maples later explained the split, saying that they differed on how they viewed the world and how they wanted to raise their child.
So I think you always hope in a marriage that you can bring out the best in each other. But after many years, we realized we weren't.
However, rumors swirl that the real cause was Maples cheating on Trump with his bodyguard, who was caught with her on a deserted beach. Probably not just having a late-night stroll. But Maples have always denied the affair, of course. But it's not all bad blood. Despite their rocky past, Donald and Marla managed to mend fences. In a 2013 Oprah interview, Marla revealed, "I still love Donald. I love Eric, Ivanka, and Donnie so much." They even managed to share an Easter celebration in April 2023. Who knew divorce could come with a side of friendly get-togethers?
Well, he's the father of my child. I do not want to ever speak negative about it. But do we agree on everything? Absolutely not. We would be married if we still agreed on everything.
But Ivana, who passed away in 2022, clearly wasn't ready to forgive and forget.
I don't want to talk about her. She's a showgirl, never achieved anything in her life.
In her 2017 memoir, Raising Trump, she didn't hold back, saying, "She actively participated in humiliating me in the media and indirectly put my kids at risk for months. I went through hell, and then I was expected to be okay with her being around my children?" Ivana's words reflected the deep hurt and betrayal she felt, a pain that her friends believe she never fully overcame. Well, who could blame Ivana?
He's free at the moment, isn't he? He's single.
Yes, he is.
Would you not like to get back together with him?
Nope.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, you would like to get back?
Nope.
So, with all this scandal and drama, who do you think was the true love of Trump's life? Let's discuss in the comments.